The move follows the city putting new restrictions in place, requiring at least a 32-hour heads up before busing migrants to the Big Apple. Jeff Van Drew, a New Jersey congressman, joining us here on the program. Congressman, thank you. So Joshy's saying this, his town doesn't have the capacity to handle these migrants and threatening to send them back to the border. What do you make of the fact that a Democratic mayor like him is speaking out about this very same topic that Republicans have been talking about for years now?
Well, I'm glad that he is, and I'm glad some Democrats are speaking out about it, but actions mean a lot more than words. So here's the deal. New Jersey declared itself a sanctuary state via Governor Murphy. He said that he ran on it, and then he declared it, which gives all kinds of special status to illegals, which means we won't cooperate with the feds in New Jersey when they want to send them back to country of origin. Means they get help with transportation, they get subsidies for education, etc. Now that all sounded great and really cool to the ultra-left and progressives, but now that it's affecting blue states and blue cities like New York City and New Jersey, it's not so great anymore. Well, the truth is we should have never been a sanctuary state. I am calling for New Jersey to rescind and this governor to rescind sanctuary state status in New Jersey. I'm also calling for the United States Senate to pass the bill that we passed in the House of Representatives, H.R. 2. And what it did, real briefly, is finish the wall, number one. Also, what it did was to make sure we had more Border Patrol doing their job, no longer doing catch and release into the country, but preventing people from coming in the country, as well as having all of the other provisions that we know are so important, like the stay in Mexico policy, like the returning to your country of origin, etc. And all these things can be done. These folks are asking for amnesty. They're not in fear for their lives. They just want to make more money and get more benefits from the governments in the United States of America. Nowhere can afford to do it. This is a national problem, not just a New York City problem. It's going to be all across the country. And, this country better get its act together and do what we want to do in the House of Representatives. That bill sits in the Senate. All it requires is to go through the Senate and for the President of the United States to sign it, and then we can button up our borders.
Yeah. We haven't seen interest, though, in the Democratic-controlled Senate or, of course, the Democrats sitting in the White House. So what happens to that bill? Nothing at the moment. And yet we're hearing from New York City, again, this issue with being a sanctuary city. It's coming back, and the policy isn't working out. Here's what the mayor had to say. He actually placed blame on Texas. Let's watch.
New York City responded similar to what Chicago did. Very commonsensical law and order to help us manage this humanitarian crisis. The strategy, which we believe is being directed by the state of Texas, is purposely to try to evade the executive order. And now what you're seeing is the same buses from Texas paid for by the state of Texas that were previously dropping off at Port Authority are now dropping off at train stations in New Jersey.
So someone from Mayor Adams' office there speaking. Is Texas Governor Greg Abbott to blame here?
No, of course not. This president is to blame. Let's really clarify this. We barely had any illegal immigration before under President Trump. The border was being buttoned up, and it was getting better and better since since President Biden has been president. We are in a few months going to have about 8 million illegals in this country, equivalent to the population of the state of New Jersey or the city of New York City. We're literally creating a 51st state throughout the country. And the blue states thought it was funny, and Democrats thought it was funny. Oh, let's unload these people on Texas because they're a red state. Well, it's not so funny anymore because they realize it's going to affect them. Governor Abbott is trying to do everything he can do to save his state from this onslaught. They're making something complicated that is very easy. All you need to do is button up and tighten the border, send them back. Not a big deal. It's easy to do. This isn't complicated. You just have to have the will to do it. This president has to do the right thing, but he won't